Hello. Beep, 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 beep. Morning all. How are we doing on this fine day? He says. It's been pouring with rain all night. I'm doing fine. I finished teaching me warrior teachers for the week, so I'm going to go out for breakfast this morning. Oh, yes. Why not? I can spoil myself if I want to. What have I got for you today? Well, the furore in regards to the Bubaka continues to wash like a wave on the shore of reality. I'm thoroughly enjoying every minute of its discomfort and its dishonour. I don't want the BBC to go. The BBC gave us extraordinary things, but it looks like it's going to if we're not careful. Certainly if Trump gets his way and sues the backside off them. But that's enough about the BBC. That's enough, in fact, about the UK. Let's take a trip to the land down under, where to most people it is the home of neighbours and predatory animals. But to me, forever will be the country that gave us Strictly Ballroom. Now, interesting stuff going on down there with the Aussie censors because they've lost the bloody plot, right? Let me tell you why. What they've done is they banned social media for under 16s. It's just like all I ever think about when people say we're going to ban this on the internet is some idiot sat under a dam trying to stop all the water coming through and going, look, we're succeeding with their hands. We've done it. You aren't doing anything, madam. There's a woman. It's a woman behind this, by the way. The E-Safety Commissioner, now she's called. I can't remember what her damn name is. Don't care anyway. So what's really weird about it, and I find this the most peculiar bit of all, is it's not everything. So, for example, X, no, you can't have that. Facebook, no, you can't have that. Blue Sky, you can have that. What's that about? It couldn't be that Blue Sky is a leftist hellhole, could it? Could it be that that's why they're not on the list? But what they've said about this is that the list is actually dynamic. You must remember the dynamic nature of the list means that they can add what they like and take away what they like, effectively doing that without any recourse to any kind of vote or democratic move. It's absolutely insane. So what they've done is they've gone, right, we can't deal with it. How can we deal with this? Because parents are useless, aren't they? That's what the whole point is, by the way. Parents are useless. It's those feckless parents, who might give a copy of Lady Chatterley's Lover to their servants. What if the servants got hold of this? It's the same sort of middle-class snobbery that we see elsewhere. So they ban the under 16s from doing any of that, and X is included on that. Blue Sky isn't included on that. And also on the list to be added at some point is WhatsApp. Can you see what it is yet? This is absolutely insane. What do we want to do as a sane world as we move forward? Bearing in mind, we're going to be living in a land of AI. We're going to be living in a land of mass communication. I know what we'll do. We'll stunt the growth of teenagers who are going to have to live in the world that is not our world, by the way, that they will have to manage. And what we'll do is we will feed them unconsciously through the state system that censorship is the answer. Is that what you really want to do? And the people that will do this will be people who aren't going to be here long enough to see what happens in the end. It's a classic example of this sounds like a good idea, let's do it. And then what happens is something awful happens. You get an even worse situation with the kind of states we've got now, where they are going to do awful things to people. The state is not, and censorship is not, and are never the answer. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how the usual suspects in the UK will squirm when they have to explain why they think banning under 16s is a good idea. But I'll give you a reason or two why it's a terrible one. Your average child now can get around most things. When they introduced that revolting Online Safety Act, which has to go, by the way, where you had to put your face on the camera and say that you're over 18. Yeah, so, kids just took pictures off the internet. It's just great, isn't it? So you've got a 13-year-old going, have you seen this bloody nonsense the adults are up to? Yeah, I have. What did you do about it? Well, they ask you to put your photograph in front of the camera. I know, but what did you do? I used an old picture of Reginald Bosanquet. It's the utter stupidity of these people. The utter stupidity of the control freak embedded in our state system. Banning this this banning 16-year-olds from social media, which is actually just a selective list of what you think they should be banned from, is the most extraordinarily stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. The average 16-year-old will have friends who are 15, 14, 13, whatever it may be. They'll screenshot whatever they want to and send it. It will become a ritual that they do every morning. And if you think we can stop them from seeing it, you are living in cloud cuckoo land. And the worst thing about that is, right, so I'm the 16-year-old and I read a piece. Oh gosh, shock horror, which I've misread, by the way. And I then photograph that and I put it into whatever chat I'm using, and all my friends get to see it, except I put my comment. Look at this, they're going to do X, Y, Z, and it's going to mean X, Y, Z, and I'm completely wrong. All they've done is add another level between the communicator and those that are being communicated to that will mean there is a chance that the mistakes will be made twice. In other words, they're not helping to stop disinformation. They have promulgated disinformation by introducing this stupid control system, which is like somebody sat before a dam with just a handful of water saying, I've managed to stop the dam. We're going to hear more of this rubbish, I think, particularly here in the UK, as the stupendously ignorant, technically, attempt to have censorship to be the norm, whatever it is that they want to censor. And you'll find, if you look through history, it's always the same excuse. It's for the good of the children. It's for the good of the vulnerable. It's not. It's because they have an overreactive response. They have a disgust response that completely overreacts. Therefore, ban this filth. This is exactly what it is. Now, what would I do? What would I do? Well, I'd make sure I would quite happily ban 13-year-olds from it all. 12-year-olds and under, I'd ban it from all. But then I'd also have them in classrooms lined up in rows, doing their times table, telling me who the King of England is, while at the weekends and in the evenings, they were cleaning the chimneys of the upper classes. I don't give a damn what under 13s do. They should be controlled completely by their parents. But by the time they hit 13, which is what the level is at the moment, you better make sure that you as a parent have taught them to understand the world that they're about to enter. The fact that parents and older people, and I include myself in that, have been remiss in their ability to educate children about the possibilities and the realities of the technological world that we live in does not mean that them being able to ban things is going to make A, anybody else feel any better, or B, prepare children for the world that we're about to enter. Well, not me. I'll be gone, like most of you. But the children are going to have to live with it because they'll become adults and then they're going to have to do what they do. And if we inculcate in them the idea that censorship is the way forward, that state control is what matters, we will damn them, right? We will destroy the very concept of Western civilization through overarching state control, overarching control by corporations. This is not how it works. What we should be legislating against is the state. What we should be legislating against is the corporations, and that legislation should include unequivocally that under no circumstances is censorship the answer, that free speech is what matters, and that if we aren't educating our children properly, that's not their problem, that's ours. And that guilt I will live with for a very long time, the fact that we haven't done it well, and you should too. I'll see you later. Ta-da.